Micah Van and Melanine, and well met indeed. I'm Adachir Galaderathan, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to the same as we continue on as the Wood Elves, or the Woodland Realm is actually what we are. Does it say our name anywhere? Surely it does. Yeah, there we are, Woodland Realm. Last time we did the first episode and it was live streamed, of course, and we had the highest number of live stream viewers we've ever had. So thank you all of you for tuning in. I do hope you enjoyed playing the game along with us. We have had a very successful and interesting early start, but we are now coming up against the unfortunate machine of war that is Dol Guldur. We're trying to keep our allies in the fight. We took Brown Boat and sold it to Dale. We took Barrage and sold it to Dale. We took Ostingyle and just sold it back to the Anduin. And we're trying to keep our allies involved. Now, of course, Legolas has proven, as he in the last episode, that the Hinidawa are insanely powerful in the early game, and he is a very strong general. But Dol Guldur has hordes and hordes and hordes and hordes of trash that we simply cannot counter with the army that we have. We've only just started making money and we're 39 turns in. So you can imagine that if Dol Guldur musters a true and military might, we will not be able to stop it. But I was surprised to see that Brown Boat didn't fall, because Barrage fell the very turn we sold it. Ostingyle, I imagine, probably will also fall. But what we're going to try and do now is take back Dwinberg, because we now, at the moment, don't share a border with Dol Guldur apart from Barrage, but hopefully Dale will keep them busy. But I don't want anyone in Dwinberg coming in through the forest here, so my plan is to nip over there, destroy what forces Dol Guldur has in Dwinberg, and then hightail it back over to the east to support our defence of Erun Runen. If Vidusith cannot defeat Macrolg, hopefully Vidusith can. But that is where we are. So first of all, we're going to attack this little fellow who's going to run away, but we may be able to catch him. No, sadly not. So we are at an end. Now, totally unrelated, but I'm going to keep plugging away, I'm afraid. And that is that of the Warhammer 2 faction vote. Many thanks to all of you who joined in and voted on that. And at last check, Belagar Ironhammer of the Dwarfs won. Now, I was a bit split with the Dwarfs because I did play as the Dwarves, the Dowie, once before. And I played as their main king. Is it Thorgrim Grudgebearer? And I only did about 2 episodes, I think. And then we also started a Réponse de Lyonnaise campaign. And that one was voted far and away more popular than the Dwarves one. So I abandoned the Dwarves one and focused on Réponse. So we've only done about 2 episodes of the Dwarves. And Belagar does have a different start. So hopefully it should be different enough that it won't feel like the same old boring Dwarven slog as the other ones. I've never played as Belagar, and I've only played for a brief amount of time as the Dwarves. So I am personally very interested to do it. So that campaign will be kicking off this week as well. I don't know when it will go up yet, because as you are all aware, this video itself was late because I completely forgot to record yesterday. I don't have any other excuse, I'm afraid. That is literally my reason, which is pathetic, I understand, but here we are. Now, I think we should hit Lug Duff more than Ugzag. Because if we can go around and hit Lug Duff, that's a much bigger threat of an army. Ugzag has 4 trash units, so I'm not worried about that. So we'll hit Lug Duff instead. And then we can crush Dol Guldur's western armies, which will only serve to aid us in the long run. But the real threat, of course, is over on the east, and we need to muster and move over. Now, you might be crying, but Galu, you've got 5 units in your capital doing nothing. Why don't you move them out? But of course our capital in 5 turns, or 6 turns rather, is about to be assaulted by the scripted Mordor army, and I need to make sure that we're ready for that. And then about 6 or 7 turns after that, we're about 10 turns away from getting all of Lothlorien's holdings. So we've got to prepare for that. We must fight as one. As of this week, Ennard White's new voice lines have now been recorded, and they are being put in the mod by Hummingbird as we speak. Hummingbird tends to oversee the voice lines and gets them in the mod, which is something that I can also do, but Hummingbird has always done, so I just sort of leave it to him. Not that I need to mention that at all, but there we are. I am human, and I am not perfect. Do you need to move? No, I don't think you do need to move. You can already shoot. I'm just moving them slightly further forward so that we're actually on the slope. Yes. If everybody runs, get the melee line out the front. There we are. Give enough distance so that the archers can really hammer home on our enemy. Can we target the wargs? I would quite like the wargs to be taken down. Legolas, can you hit them? Yeah, you can. Hit those. Asking Legolas if he can hit something is like asking if bears take craps in woods. Right, if all 4 of you target those Dol Guldur archers, that will give them a right good going over. But then change focus onto these. And you hit that Dol Guldur host. Orc maulers. Orc maulers. Ah, no, the cavalry line charged us. So, right, fire at whatever you want. Hit the Dol Guldur host, hit the Dol Guldur host. Why aren't you guys firing as much as I would like you to fire? We need to hit them. We need to attack where the enemy bunches up.
If we continue like this,
Oh, the Maithrithuar have ruined the Warg Marauders. Ah, and annoyingly those elves have turned around. But they're all firing at whatever they want now. 5% plays nearly 50%. Right, now is the time to manoeuvre our forces about where we would want them. So let's get them out and involved. Now, there was a cry from within the modding team and the beta testers that Legolas should be reverted because he's far too powerful. But personally, I feel like he doesn't make it that much easier. Now, hear me out on this. Every battle we have fought thus far, we would have won in any event. Legolas being there just makes our victory slightly simpler. But because of the way the Woodland realm plays, plenty of arrow fire, having one all-powerful archer doesn't really change your fortunes all that much. Oh, those Warg Marauders are going to charge into Legolas. And he's right in the front line. That's right, they got them. Right, hit those Marauders if you would. And you're going to come down here. So maybe by this point we might have had to have added an additional unit to our army. But generally speaking, and on the whole, I feel quite confident that actually Legolas's presence in our armies doesn't change a loss to a victory. It just changes a victory into an even easier victory. And I don't think that really matters. He's not going to change the tide of war against Dol Guldur. We're still going to come up against hordes of Dol Guldur forces. And remember, Legolas has a pitifully low amount of arrows for the elite unit that he is. And because he has such insane range, he fires all of his arrows almost immediately. So he can actually be quite difficult to use well, to be honest. But now, granted, he's made the battles easier, absolutely. But making a win an easier win, I just don't think matters. We might have had to have added additional units maybe once or twice by this point. But you know, that even in these battles where he's taking 412 people himself, we still lost nearly 100 elves. We constantly get whittled down and whittled down and whittled down. And Legolas alone is not enough to turn the tide. So I'm not concerned that he's there. The elves are already a fairly simple battle plan and a fairly simple campaign. Line up your archers and kill the enemy. That's all 3 elven factions. And even if you include Dorwinion, that's how they play as well. That's very much the elves' identity, in certainly in Divide and Conquer, but in Third Age before it, and to an extent in the films and books as well. Nowhere near as much as the films and then games have portrayed. I mean, in the elves of the First Age, you hear far more talk about them wielding axes and things like that than you ever do really about them being master archers. I tell you what, if you can give me a militia garrison and take... Oh, bugger, it can't build those because it doesn't have a Hall of Song. No. Right, get me a Hall of Song. That only gives us 1 free upkeep. Once you've done that, I really would like a militia garrison here. No, you're never going to get a militia garrison in time. It takes 4 turns to build. 6 turns for those 2 not to attack us. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think the best we can hope for is to try and muster a defensive force and pray that we can hold that point. Right, they're going for their Hall of Song, and then you're going to give me a barracks. And Erundolin is building a barracks, but already gets free upkeep, so doesn't need the Hall of Song. So that's all you're going to get. Thranduil's Halls is building a market, and Torfilin is building a leather tanner, which you're about to finish, actually. So chuck in a market once you're done. Markets, I think, are probably the best bet for the elves at the moment. Mines are always preferred if we can, but we don't have anywhere where we can build them other than Emin Nufuin. And they cost 3,825, but I would much rather get that unit free upkeep first. And also just have more barracks. Let's just get a few more barrackses up before we worry about that kind of thing. Right, you're keeping an eye on Dol Guldur, and you're keeping an eye over here on also Dol Guldur, actually. Can we just about see the town if we stand in the air? And then we've got a diplomat somewhere. Adrian is talking to the forces of the Anduin. Adrian, go and find out if Ostengal fell. No. I would rather hold Ostingard than Anduin so that we can hold much of the forest, but of course we're never going to have complete forest control because the Anduin has Leotholt, and we won't get that. We're never going to get that. So there's going to be border gore, as people call it, I'm afraid. But there we are. Now, I also plan to do a developer diary this week at some point. Might have to be at the weekend, though. I'm very busy this week. And then when I'm busy, it doesn't mean that, I'm not busy so I can record in the afternoon. It just means that I'm not as tired in the evening, so I feel like, yeah, let's do a recording. Whereas when I'm quite busy, it just drains it out of me.
Take it for the elves.
Right, I've gutted their power here, Anduin. Why did you not take Dwinberg back? Angmar are all powerful. Khand stands with the Astari. Mordor, Harad, and the Eastlings are at war with Khand. The Ardenaim have broken their alliance with Khand, and Khand are now allied to Doramrath and Gondor. And the Anduin have allied Dale, which is nice. Torfilin built its leather tanner and is building a market. Nice to see. And Emyn Nufuin got its Hall of Song and is building a barracks. Perfect. So we'll get some free upkeep there. And in Erin Runen, once that town hall goes up, get those units trained. Now, Enethau, you've just trained some units, but I'm taking them all away, I'm afraid. Erin Runen needs a garrison. Ah, they put an army in Beralge. Dale have put an army in Brown Boat. The Anduin are moving in Ostingal, and Bolg himself, a random general in truth, is moving away. And they don't have a general in Dwinberg. Ooh. Chuck in one of those, two of those. 4 turns that's going to take. Jeez, it's 2 turns just to get the rams up. Have we really got that few forces? How long will it hold out for? 5 turns. By the time our siege equipment's ready to go, we won't be able to... We've only got a turn until we can just wait anyway. We could do it with just a battering ram, but these battle maps... Oh no, they don't have towers that can destroy it. No, we'll go straight away. We need to be quick. And the more of those that die, the more money we can afford anyway, because Erin Runen is now training forces. I wouldn't say no to a practice range over here as well, to be honest. But then we're focusing so much on the eastern border. Once Beralge falls, we're back to only focusing on Dol Guldur in the south. So, and in a moment, we're about to have all of Lothlorien's lands. So we need to... We're just going to bankrupt us so hard. Now, we keep all of their buildings that they've built, but we don't get any of their troops, apart from their 3 militia units and the 4 units that we get as part of the script. I don't really have any intention of holding and owning Dwinberg. I would much rather give it back. Oh, fantastic. They attacked us. Right. Mirkwood Hunters, Mirkwood Goblins and Orc Hunters, which is a pathetic army. And that's also pretty crappy as well. Yeah, this is going to be a nice, simple victory. We are being attacked in the back, are we not? Captain Zograd, yes we are.
Evil must not
right.
be allowed to
And ideally, yes, as I say, I would swap Dwinberg for Ostingile. I would rather own Ostingile. There's at least one of our units, I think, that only trains in forests. Although that might be Lothlorien. I know the Gurthinen only train in forests. Lothlorien's high-powered archer unit. High-powered, low accuracy. High speed, low drag. They only train in forests. But I don't think we get access to them, actually. I can't remember which 4 units we get. Right, we're being attacked in the front and the back. So we want to pull away. I hate forests in Med 2. They're a complete bane. Sadly. Over here is probably our best bet. But then we're losing a hill there. We're fighting on a slope. They're going to be coming down a hill at us. It's annoying as sin. What's about over here? What have we got over here? Now there's a bit of a hill on the edge there, but again, not a massive one. But that probably is our best bet, actually. Just line up on that side there. Either that, or if we rush this team, if we can try and push to that hill, I think we're going to do that. I think I'm going to do that. We're going to start over here, and then we are going to just run at the 3 units that are attacking us directly in front.
Are bringing in reinforcements.
Ah, the reinforcements aren't coming from behind. They're coming from over there. Change of plans. 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 Pause it. Pull everybody back. Pull them back. Climb up that hill. And archers come and stand in front. And melee do so as well. Stand and be ready. Right, speed her up. We're elves, so we're blooming nippy. There isn't anything that is on 2 feet that can outrun an elf. So as long as you get yourself running at the right time, you'll always outrun your enemies. Right, and then that's perfect. They've completely given up the high ground. We can take it, no troubles at all. And our army's slightly focused on the left for that Dogaldor force, which will hit us long before the other team arrives. But the benefit of being this far ahead is those wargs are now going to sprint at us, because they're moronic, and they're going to get themselves killed. We've got some orc hunters coming in. Legolas and Thranduil are firing away straight away. But Legolas, target those warg marauders. Because that's the enemy general. He takes quite a while to bring them down, really, actually, doesn't he?
The enemy good tidings.
There we are, the enemy general's dead. Oh, you can fire at what you like now. Although both of you actually don't fire.
If we continue like this,
All of you do target those Mirkwood hunters. Alright, here comes the enemy. Dogaldor scouts, Dogaldor host, not worried about them. Remove them! You can both fire as freely as you would like. Oh, they just ploughed right past you, you daft buggers. Some of our archers are going to get caught in melee.
If we continue
Nah, that's
like
right.
this,
So saved them. Who saved them? Don't keep firing on the unit that's running away. Not bothered about that. Although you can hit those Mirkwood hunters if you like. Cease. Hit that Dogaldor host. Pull back. Pull them back. We've said that once today. Come on, Galley. Get better references. Right, you hit that Dogaldor host as well. Archers, can we clear off these goblin scum? Right, Legolas has used up all of his arrows, so have many of our archers. Thranduil is one of the few that actually remains fighting. This is it. Remove them! Oh, you finished as well. Speed her up.
Half the enemy force remain. The battle is very much
The battle is almost certainly going in our favour. I should imagine we've decimated them. 6% plays 80%. We're going to take Dwinberg with nary a fight.
The enemy general abandons his men.
Kill as many as you can. Elves of the Woodland realm. Killing off a few more goblins. How many made it out alive? 88%, bugger. That means they're going to get a garrison. Only 31 elves died. And this time, Thranduil took the most. 327. Well done, sir. Now, you see, Legolas is fantastic when the enemy army bunches up. But when they don't bunch up, he's still a good archer. But he's completely underutilised. It's like a sledgehammer to crack a nut. You really want to wait until you've got a big blob of the enemy. And then Legolas absolutely shines. His bodyguard will just cut through everything. The arrow flies and it will go through any body it hits before it hits the ground, which means when they're all blobbed up like that, like Hinny-Dower on a bridge battle would just be unbelievably ungodly. Oh, we did get it. Oh, nice. We're just going to sell it back. But what I'm going to do is a very unallied-like thing in that I'm probably going to destroy all the buildings within it. It doesn't have any elven culture, so it's of almost no use to us. But it is, of course, of use to the Anduin. Oh, we can get a Bladesmith Guild there. I'm going to accept because we can't afford it. We're not going to keep the place anyway. Right. Woodman Camp means nothing to me. And 766. I am just going to destroy it all and sell it back. I know that means that for our friends here, it will mean basically nothing. But I want all this money. I'm sorry, guys. I'm about to go into severe debt when Lothlorien joins me, and I cannot. I need to keep that place. Right, now we need you guys to toodle off over to Erunrunen and our Spy Master General, Adrian.
Tis good to see you, my friend. How can we help?
Give region. Dwinberg. Do we want Ostingile, actually? We could always just buy it later, couldn't we? Give me military access and map information for that. And I suppose you could give me a regular tribute as well, couldn't you? What about 400 gold coins for the next 6 turns? That becomes balanced. All right, take away the bloody map.
How could we? An honour and a pleasure.
All right, so we've given Dwinberg back to them, and then we can move over to Erunrunen and pick up the troops that are training there, which are now training. Oh, fantastic! And with that money we just got as well, Now, Hall of Music will give us 2 free upkeep. But no, I think we should probably get a practice range in and get some scouts. I only get Woodland scouts. Ah, bugger. Roads, militia garrison. I think we should probably go roads, really. 3 turns to get that, then it's 2 turns to get the archers after that. We've already got quite a few archers. We're going to be taking the melee forces, so let's go for roads so that we can at least cross this region quicker. Enethauer, you're building a master builders hall. We'll worry about your structure after that. Everywhere else is still building, so no concerns there. And we do make money, so we're not doing too badly. He's keeping his eye on Dol Guldur, where Chieftain Lagaran of the Neck resides, and Dol Guldur are now being kept busy by Dale, which is good. That's exactly what we had hoped for. And we're acting as sort of peacekeepers in this whole affair. We can get to Aranior. We don't really want to Aranior, but I'll take some more Woodland Wardens. Just getting ready. Just so we're ready when the time comes. It's a lovely sunny day today. Weather update for you. Spring is upon us. The temperature climbs up out of the single digits, up into the doubles, and we warm up. The heating has gone off, and the house is now kept warm by Mother Nature herself. Gaia, of all things. This is going quite nicely, actually. Erebor have secured Witherboard, so our northern bounds and the war with Gundabad is now well in check. They didn't attack me after that long spiel about the AI attacking you whenever they say, do this or we will attack you. They didn't attack us, which is nice. I'm very tempted to get a Master Builders Hall here, because this is going to continue building buildings for a long old time. But, of course, the barracks event was removed some time ago, so if we keep going up the culture building line, as you saw there, with the... Oh, Garrison Hall doesn't have a name for some reason. Minor bug. Need to put that back in. There's the Valiant Council Hall. So we need the 4th tier in order to get the highest tier of barracks, which gives us our Elven King's Gate Guard, Axe Guard, and that's it. The 3rd tier of archery range will give the Hinidawa and the Elven King's Bow Guard. So I think a Master Builders Hall is probably the best bet. Let's get everything cheaper and quicker to go. Torfilin's got 2 more turns. Erin Dolan, you've finished. You've got your free upkeep, finally. Nice to see, nice to see. How much money do we make? 3,000. Land clearance? Land clearance is probably your best bet, isn't it? Hall of Song is public order, but we don't really need that. We could also get practice ranges. No, I'm going to go land clearance. Get that in. And Enethauer, you've just finished building that Master Builder, so you can also get land clearance. Yes, I will take that. Although you're a bit closer to the front lines, but you are only a town. Castles is what we want. We don't have a castle for days, and we just sold the only castle that we've ever had. Ostingale is only 5% Northman and 9% Elven. It is 81% Shadow. That's ridiculous. Right, let's merge those archers together.
Scout the area.
Go and meet up with that army. There we are, that's all we can do. I changed the thumbnail for the Woodland Realm. I wasn't happy with the initial one. And even this one, I'm still unsure about the Ruritania font, which is the W that you see in the thumbnail. I like the thumbnails to be simple, and I don't like to... I would never do the cheesy thumbnails that YouTube is so famous for. Now, I absolutely know that they work, and were I in this as a business model, I would throw every business trick I had at the book, which would include my face doing surprised face with basically every single video ever, and having just so much on the screen. Personally, I just don't understand it. Even gaming channels that don't then tend to have the gamer's face in the video, they still have these really ridiculously bright thumbnails, and you don't really know what's going on. The text normally takes up about 80% of the screen, and I've just never been a fan of them. I've always much preferred my simple, plain old, boring thumbnails, which I use. And I've been no different with this Woodland Realm one. But I did want to have a different font. I've got a system that I use for the Warhammer videos. You may have noticed that the Altharian and the Sisters of Twilight thumbnails were very similar. And I'm going to continue that pattern, because I like that. It's a subtle subconscious reinforcement that you know that that's a Warhammer thumbnail before you've clicked on it. And I like to follow a similar theme with the DaC videos, with having the icon of the nation either in the center or maybe just up from the centre, but not on the right or the left. Number always has to go in the left because of the way thumbnails are presented on YouTube. The right-hand side of the screen is often cut off for thumbnails. So the primary information needs to be in the top left. And I've continued that theme. Oh, look, Dale are really getting involved. Buralge, though, I think now is probably the time to move south with our defensive force and take Ostingile. Erunrunen has just trained all of those, and I can take the lot of them.
Elves, my lord. Onward, sire.
And that army can move on Ostingile. That's perfect timing. And we still make money. And they're now going to get that one unit as a garrison. Oh, and you can build land clearance. Oh, and so can end it out. You could get Leather Turner. Should we get land clearance? Or do we want to now just wait and save? No, let's keep building all of these low-level ones that we can get. So we'll get the land clearance. We'll get the market up in Emyn Nufuin. But once we start making a decent amount of money... and once the defence of Thranduil's halls has taken place, which is about to occur, we can build the mines. We want the mines in Emyn Nufuin if we can get them up. They're going to do very well for us. But anyway, so on the thumbnail, I'm unsure about the W. I would never write fully in Ruritania font because it's not all that legible, but the W was just nice and flowery, and when I think of elves, I think of flowing cursive script. And I liked that sort of medieval monk-style letter. But there's just something about the thumbnail that still feels off to me. I'm not sure what. I also needed, of course, it to be a different colour green from the Sisters of Twilight, so that there was a nice enough differentiation. But it's only a slightly darker green, or a slightly brighter, one of the two, can't remember which. A visitor from Lothlorien. The night is calm, the woods asleep, or so it seems. The silvery moon glitters above, intense, and yet so shy. Between the trees, patches of intense light and deep darkness intermingle. Without a sound, horse and rider pass from tree to tree, a ghostly presence in the distance as it approaches. The spectre becomes solid, the details sharper. The elf is clad in green and brown, his fair face wears a smile. The white horse stops 2 steps from us, and a clear voice breaks the veil of silence. "My name is Himlaig," he says, "a messenger from Lothlorien. I bring tidings of danger and of friendship. I have come to see who sits upon the throne of the Wood Elves. Please let me pass your guard post without delay, and lead me straight to him." Should say them, really, shouldn't it? That's very sexist. "There is little time. How shall we deal with the visitor?" "Yes, allow him to pass. He's a fellow Sylvaner from Lorien." "No, send him back to the Golden Wood. Our lord has much to deal with already, and the burdens of the Lord of the Wood are not ours." We, of course, will allow him to pass. Need to reword that, really, as well. I'm sure I did add a warning message to that one. Maybe I only did it to the Lothlorien perspective one. But I added a warning message that says, if you reject now, the entire script is rejected. But actually, I think... To be honest, I think that whole bit should just not be included. Why would the Woodland Realm ever reject a visitor from Lothlorien? It makes no sense. I think that initial bit should just be scrapped, and the script should begin with you in your court, with the messenger saying, "My lord, there is a large army of Mordor coming. We have seen them passing up from the south, blah, blah, blah. We can muster some troops to help you defend your city, blah, blah, blah. Would you like us to?" And you can say yes or no. And then you'll get troops or you won't get troops. But then even that bit, to be honest, I feel like shouldn't be a choice. Why would you reject free troops? It makes no sense at all. So to my mind, the basic revision of the script needs to be that it begins with a messenger saying, "We have brought troops from Lothlorien to assist you because there is a Mordor army coming. You're welcome. We'll worry about it later on." That should be the start. Thranduil's halls, built in the style of the ancient dwellings of Nargothrond and Menegroth. Deep beneath the earth we march to the seat of the great green wood. Surrounded by his courtiers, the Lord of the Halls is seated. A sorrow covers my soul, for by my words the peace of the silence shall be shattered. "My king, I bring word from Lothlorien." There's only one accented O in Lothlorien, and it's the second one. "Of an impending danger. A large host of orcs is on the move. They are sent to burn the last of the green lands of the wood and intend to cover all Mirkwood in its shadow. They were delayed by our forays in the south, but now they march. Gather your army, for they will be sorely needed. I will remain to fight alongside you. Should we survive, my lords wish you to join our fight. What is your will? Do you call your people to arms?" Yes, we need them all. See, I think we should just get rid of that bit as well. And there you go, you get free troops, which makes you lose loads of money. You actually pay, I think, as you may have noticed just there. You lose money instantly that you get the troops, which also needs to be reflected in the message. As you note, that was not listed in the message. There's many things wrong with the start of this. So, it needs to start at that message, and the message should say, an army is coming up from the south. You should muster your forces to counter it. Be ready. Blah, 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 blah. And then it should say, do you want to muster extra forces? This will cost us 3,000 gold, which will be taken from your treasury whether you have it or not. Or do you want to just rely on the defense you've already got? That should be the question, not the way it was worded there. So your choice is like 6 extra troops, but it's going to cost you 3,000 gold coins. And then once you've fought the battle, then it should go straight into the should we join together to fight better. I think the whole initial starting message needs to be scrapped. It just doesn't make sense. We're already allies. You have to be allies for this script to even start. So why would you deny a messenger from Lothlorien? It makes no sense at all. So that's definitely going to be reworded. Glaracor the Sycophant. Hello there in Ostingile. I think we've killed you before, haven't we? And there's Bolg. Alright, this battle is going to end today's episode, so in the next episode we're going to fight that Mordor army, which I can touch upon as we load into this battle. The reason that Mordor has to be the antagonist at this point of the script is because when the script was initially reworked and added, Dol Guldur was the attacker upon you. But that led to a few very rare, admittedly, but possible occurrences where A, you might have already defeated Dol Guldur by turn 45, particularly if you're playing as Lothlorien, which would mean that the whole script is just bizarre. You've defeated Dol Guldur. How on earth did they get a full stack army to come and attack you? And secondly, I hate these bloody night battles. And secondly, you may have actually allied Dol Guldur, which is even rarer and extreme, but in some cases some beta testers had done that. And so it was then absolutely unthinkable. Your ally then suddenly declares war on you and sends a full 1,000 troops. It just made no sense. Whereas Mordor at this point, you're likely to be at war with or have no relations with, and it didn't matter as much if they broke it. Now, point B didn't matter all that much about having an alliance. I think I'm going to pull back to here, by the way. I just want to get away from the forest. We're going to defeat whoever comes because we've got fantastic archers. I just hate how bloody dark these battle maps are. Now, we were attacked from a person who was on sort of our right, but everyone should be coming from sort of in front of us. So I think taking this little hill here is our best bet. But yeah, the emphasis was on the first point, not the second point. Oh, actually, let's group these together first. So the fact that Dol Guldur could be dead and then still attack you was just completely unthinkable. Them breaking an alliance to assault you was not as bad. It was still annoying and a bit of a law break for your own sort of personal stories that you might have been developing as you played Divide and Conquer. But overall, it's not unbelievable to assume Dol Guldur, a nation of pure evil, would betray their allies. Mordor, on the other hand, it would be a insane feat for them to be defeated by turn 45. In fact, it's almost impossible. The only way Mordor can die is by destroying the ring or capturing all of their regions. They cannot be regicided. It's physically impossible. So for them to die that early, there's just no way the AI would ever be able to do that. So there was never a fear that Mordor would die. So that's why it has to be Mordor that attacks you. It also makes a little bit more sense to be Mordor anyway, because they are supposed to be the primary antagonists in the game, full stop. So it works a little better with them as the enemy. But yeah, no, we definitely need to rework the script. And Lord of Links has some good ideas about the reworking that I'm very much on board with, and we can crack on with those for version 6. And I do like the idea of making the Wood Elves a bit similar to the Wood Elves in Warhammer as well, in that their victory conditions aren't to capture any regions. They are just to hold their capital and defeat the main force of evil. Because we can't heal the forests. We can't have that as a victory condition in Medieval 2. But what you can have is the requirement that they simply hold their capital city and then defeat Mordor, for example, because Mordor is the primary antagonist for the Elves. And I think that's a better victory condition for a start. But then also, Lord of Links' main suggestion is about having a series of buildings, one in Amun Lank, one in Caras Galadon, and one in Thranduil's halls, that can be upgraded after certain tiers, and it just bolsters your nation as a whole as it gets upgraded. And I like that idea. And I'm thinking that because they're all over there, we probably should have taken this hill here. But I'm not overly sold on that idea, actually. But then our troops there are going to be fighting ever so slightly downhill. And the main enemy force is coming from over there. So I think I am going to move our line up. We're going to go and take that hill there. And you guys are going to come onto the left-hand side this time. Take the javelins behind you. Archers just come and stand in a line. And Legolas and Thranduil will go at the back. Everyone sprint. Go, 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 go. Take up positions, prepare yourselves for the coming storm. Brilliant, there we are. Yeah, I think that's a slightly better position to take. It doesn't look too dark on the recording, though. The beauty of this new software that I've been using for some months now, actually, is that it also shows me a little image of what exactly I am recording, which is good, because it helped me realise that when I recorded Warhammer 2... sorry to talk about Warhammer 2 again, but just a minor point on recording. Oh, there's the Castellans. There are the Castellans. That's a Glaracor. That is a Glaracor. Right, get over here. When I recorded Warhammer 2... I usually play the game in full screen mode. I don't play in borderless window. But when I played in full screen mode, when it recorded, it really wigged out with the fonts. The font on every city was shown in a really bizarre way. And I needed to rectify that. And by changing to borderless window, then Warhammer 2 recorded completely normally without any issues at all. So, and that was only because of that little screen that shows me what I'm recording that I was able to even see that. Alright, here we go. Here we go, Legolas. This is your time to shine. Bring down a Glaracor and bring him down as quickly as you can. There are 119 Castellans of Dol Guldur as the Silverthorn arrows whistle through that crowd. Nice to see, nice. R.I.P. 95 of them left. Give us another good blast. It doesn't matter if a few of our elves die. Oh, Callie, will you shut up? What are you yelling about? I don't know if you can hear her, but she's sitting out there just crying out non-stop. It's because she doesn't like her breakfast. The prissy princess today has decided that the breakfast she's had every day for the past 6 months or something is no longer to her taste. She would like a reversion to the pre-6th month breakfast. Nice, the Castellans are going down. I don't really mind that we're using all of Legolas's arrows. Those Castellans have the ability to gut much of our force. So kicking them out early doors is good. But I think that'll probably do. With 40 of them left, that's fine. Where is the rest of the enemy army, by the way?
Enemy general lies dead.
Ah, no, it was Bolg that died. Where really is the rest of the army? Ah, they're just coming through the trees now. Righty-ho. There you go. Get firing on them then. Right, let's kill off these Castellans and just sort of manoeuvre that force. There's 16 Castellans remaining. Here comes the bulk of the enemy army. Warg Marauders flanking round. Can you get a javelin? Oh, bugger, they've got siege. Oh, and they've charged the Wargs straight into Thranduil. Where on earth did they get the siege from? I don't remember them having siege. Legolas, have you finished with your arrows? Yes, you have. Right, get out here, son. There's a task.
Badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
It's a bit of a risk to send you, but we can't have that siege just decimating us for days on end. Where even is it? I'm looking straight at it, apparently. Oh, there it is. That's Legolas. He acts as almost a cavalry unit, really. Boost our army. I never thought that we would lose this, but killing off the main enemy force was always worthwhile. Right, you guys are free up there. Mirkwood Uruks, let's hit those. Have you guys finished with your javelins? Yep, charging there.
The enemy force remains.
Legolas is stopping the ballista crew. We are taking a lot of losses in this fight, though. Awful lot of losses. Right, that's the ballista taken out. Come and hit these hunters. Our archers are still firing. I'll hit the Dol Guldur archers, actually. We've got a big cut right through our line there, though.
Only half the
Mirkwood
enemy
Uruks
force
there,
remains.
smashing us.
Our men have slain the enemy general.
Another enemy general's died. It's a Glaracor, the Sycophant. Yes! Down he goes. We should see routing for the last few that still stand then. Legolas mopping up those that he can there. Come and help him so that he doesn't get killed off by Mirkwood hunters of all things. 90, 80.
Our men have slain the enemy. The enemy army
It's over.
flees the field.
Yes!
The enemy
We lost
are utterly
332.
vanquished.
We killed thousands, but
Great
332.
victory,
Legolas only
worthy
took
of
400.
the mightiest of generals.
But I think we did well. I think we did well. I think it was the right decision to make Legolas take down the Castellans rather than focus on the masses. Because he could just carve them down one by one by one by one by one. A fantastic victory was had. And here today Dol Guldur will stand in remembrance. They will never forget the defeat laid down to them by Thranduil and Legolas. as the wood elves cleanse the forest region by region, taking back what lands are ours. And Dol Guldur sends basically everything they've ever got at us. Jesus. They are sending a lot. Now, I'm not going to fight this one, though, because A, this is where I'd like to end the video. About 40 minutes is about where I wanted. And B, I need to, because Jess will be back soon, and she's going to go in the shower. And that doesn't really mean anything to you guys, but unfortunately, it does mean that the recording will have to stop. Because the shower is insanely loud, and it drowns out my voice. Because we have a little shower boosty thing in the cupboard behind me that makes the pressure on the shower stronger. And you've never heard it before, because I make sure to never have it in the background when I'm recording. But people that have played with me on Discord will know what I mean. But anyway, until we speak again then, dear friends, thank you very much for watching episode number 2. Thranduil and Legolas aren't dead yet. We're fighting off another big attack from Dol Guldur. But Dale have definitely got Bur Alj tidied up, so Erin Runen will not need to be defended. And our western border, hopefully the Anduin will now stay strong, given that we gave them back Dwinberg, and Roscabel already had a mighty army anyway. And then in the next episode, we will fight off the Mordor army Aglat up in Thranduil's halls. But until we speak again, dear friends, have a fantastic couple of days. I hope you look forward to the Belagar Ironhammer campaign as much as I do. I'm thoroughly looking forward to recording it. Any tips, any advice, please do post them away. And if you think there's any mods I should use, please do let me know as well. But until we speak again, Navar Naden Peramad Melunin, and farewell.